So you want to be a nugget shooter or a nugget hunter or a metal detectorist that hunts nuggets. Okay, well, I'm going to give you some tips here on how to get started. And number one you need to know is it's kind of like hunting for a needle in a haystack a lot of the time. We spend a lot of time out here digging trash and whatnot, just like coin and relic hunting. But there's a big difference in the two, and including the detectors people use. And I get asked all the time, is it okay just to go buy a $200 detector from Walmart or somewhere like that and go out and hunt gold nuggets with it? Now, I suppose it's been done, and I suppose somewhere along the way somebody might have got lucky and got one. But the thing is gold detectors are made much differently than the standard coin and relic machine. And the difference between the two is striking in its ability to handle the ground, to hear small, faint targets amongst lots of hot rocks and other noise out here. And it makes a lot of sense that if you're going to hunt gold, you buy a gold nugget hunting machine. And it's going to require an investment. They start out somewhere around $800 and go up from there. This one, GPX 6000 from Mine Lab, is a $6,000 machine. Do you have to spend $6,000 to start nugget shooting? Absolutely not. One of the best ones to start with out there right now is the Gold Monster 1000. That runs about $949. And that's a really good machine for starting out with. And I'm going to do some more videos on that this season. I've been getting a lot of requests for some more videos on that because I've been using the 6000 quite a bit. So what justifies switching to the 6000 from the 1000? Well, although it's a big budget thing, I've learned to find gold well enough that I'm confident that when I buy a higher end machine, I'm going to be able to use the extra features it has, the extra depth it gets, and find more gold. And that's the case. And a lot of times it's a budget thing. You're going out to buy a new car, a lot of people have a budget. And if spending $6,000 is not a huge thing for you, then you might want to start at the top and start out with a higher end unit. And if you're trying to learn and just want to monkey around with it a little bit and get out and find a few nuggets, then start around $1,000 with a Gold Monster 1000 or Fisher Gold Bug 2. There's a lot of machines out there that will find gold. And I use Mine Lab. I use Mine Lab because I like Mine Lab. I don't have to use Mine Lab. I am a dealer, a multi-line dealer. I sell Garrett, I sell Fisher. I sell them all, and pretty much. There's some I don't. But I use Mine Lab because Mine Lab works best for me in the environments that I hunt. And I find more gold with them. I find a more sensitive and better machine for my uses. That's why I use them. And it's not a dealer thing for me because I make about the same amount of money selling somebody one of these as I would the Garrett Axiom or some of the other higher end machines that are out there. It is what it is. I use what works. And that's the key. And I did a lot of research before I bought my first Mine Lab years and years and years ago. And I had been struggling with some other detectors and I didn't know what I was doing. And it's tough, man, when you first start out if nobody's there to help you. And one of the cool things is now a lot of the dealers, including me, offer training. So you buy a machine from me, you get training on that machine. That's a big deal. And you also get pretty much unlimited help on the phone or by email, whatnot. And on top of that, I do YouTube videos, and I've got a couple other formats I use, like Facebook, and I help people learn as best I can. It's a lot of fun for me, and I have just about as much fun getting another person over their first nugget as I would getting a nugget myself. And why did I say it's like hunting for a needle in a haystack? Well, sometimes it seems like you can go days and weeks and a long time without finding a single piece of gold, and then bang, you get one. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of places have been hammered pretty good. So it really pays to get the better technology now and get out with that. and it gives you a little better chance. And also working and understanding and education and joining a club. That's a great way to get started. Just join a club, and you get to meet a lot of people doing the same thing like you, and you also get to hunt their claims. And we're on club claims right now. And I also look for dry washer tailings. I look for evidence that the old timers have been there, scraping around looking for gold, and that makes a lot of difference. It really does. And I don't know, it just gets me out of the house and gets me out here, and I find quite a bit of gold every year. And it's worth it to me. It's what I choose to do. And a lot of you people have been asking me, what's it take to get started? Well, you're going to have to invest in a detector, like I said, and do some research before you do it. Find out what people are finding gold with. Just because a manufacturer says it's going to find nuggets doesn't mean it will. Some companies say they'll find anything. And I suppose they will in the sandbox. The problem out here in the desert gold fields is you've got a lot of mineralization. A lot of different types of minerals are mixed in with the placer gravels that have the gold in it. And that makes it really tough on some detectors out here. And like I said, the gold detectors are made to do that. And that makes a huge difference for the guy out there hunting, especially if you're new to this. And joining a club is, like I said, a really good way to get out on the gold fields. But education is the key, my friends. There's a lot of publications out there like Placer to Gold Deposits of Arizona. You can look them up online, download it free. And instead of coming out to a spot like this and wondering where to start, you've already read about the area, read about where they found gold before, and, well, it makes pretty good sense. There's probably some more gold there. The old timers didn't get all those nuggets. They were finding a lot of fine gold and smaller stuff in a lot of these areas, and they knew they were losing a nugget or two in their tailings piles because they're classifying down to about 3/8 of an inch size, and anything over that would slide out into the tailings. But they weren't going to sit there all night long and dig through those rocks looking for the 1 or 2 nuggets they might have missed during the day when they found an ounce or 2 of fines. It just didn't make sense to them. And in the early days, geez, the tailings piles in most places were just loaded with nuggets. And I learned a long time ago from Jim Strait, a good friend of mine, he's gone now, that follow the dry washers. And that's helped me be successful. I look for areas where the old timers have been dry washing. And a lot of times, along with the fine gold they're getting, there was a lot of nuggets. And a lot of nuggets scattered in the grounds that weren't concentrated by the washes and stuff. That's what I look for. Yep, getting out, and you got to have a nice pick. You got to carry a belt full of tools. You got to carry water with you. There's a lot of stuff you got to do to really get into this. And having someone help you is probably one of the best things you could do for yourself. So if you're going to buy a machine, buy from somebody that's going to train you. Ask them. So you're going to take me out and show me how to use this thing? And a lot of times they'll say no, and then you'll find the guys that'll do it. Those are the ones you want to deal with, my friends. Whether it's me or somebody else that offers training. And do the research on the dealer just like you would on finding the gold. Because finding a good dealer is kind of like finding gold sometimes. It can be hard to find. Yeah, I know I'm looking around a lot. That's because there's a lot of birds flying around and stuff. You get out here and you see stuff other people don't see. And biggest difference, I think, between coin and rock hunting and gold nugget hunting is we move really slow. There's so much mineralization in hot rocks, which a hot rock is a rock similar to this right here that has a lot of iron in it. And that rock, being different than the ground that you're balanced to, will give you a signal. And for the lesser machines, you get a lot more trouble from hot rocks and whatnot. From the higher end machines and gold machines especially, you don't. And it'll block out a lot of that because it's made to handle it. And once you get the ground balance done properly, you don't hear a lot of them. You're still going to hear some. I haven't found a machine yet that wouldn't hear any. And we don't use discrimination. And I hear a lot of people on my videos and stuff tell me, well, if you just put on iron discrimination, you wouldn't have to dig all that iron out there. Well, I learned something a long time ago, and a lot of other people attest to this, is A lot of machines out there, when it tells you it's iron, it's not. And I've seen some pretty fancy machines out in the desert, people walking away from targets. And I've dug those targets and they were nuggets. And you'll hear the same thing from a lot of other people that do what I do. Dig all targets. When you're coin and relic hunting, you can pick and choose what you're hunting by the discrimination on the machine. That's cool. That's really cool. But it just doesn't work out here. And that makes it a little tougher too, because we dig everything. Everything. I mean, if I can see a tin can laying on the ground, I mean, I know it's a tin can laying on the ground, but I'll still move it and see if there's anything under it. I'm kind of that way. But I find a lot of gold. And I've watched people walk away from nuggets. Okay, I'm not lying. I've watched people walk away from nuggets. So where they say, well, that's too loud a signal, or that can't be gold, it's too big. And they'll walk away from it. And I've dug nuggets behind people, and I know some people that have dug some rather big ones that were thought to be trash, and people walked away. Okay, you're in a gold field. You've got a high-end machine you spend a lot of money on, and it's made to find gold. But the Mine Lab PIs, the upper end ones, this one and the 7000, and they don't have discrimination at all. They want you to dig all targets. Okay? And there's a reason for it not having discrimination, because it just isn't a working thing in the gold fields. And yeah, those old timers threw a lot of trash around. I'll tell you what, man, they never thought there'd be somebody out here with a metal detector looking for gold, and as a result, they threw a lot of trash around out here. And as a result, we dig that trash. And I like the places when I get in the area, I got some trash showing up, and especially older bullets. They got a white oxidation on them and whatnot. You can tell it's older stuff. And that gets me excited, because I know probably somebody that's really good with a detector hasn't ever been there, because they would have dug those targets. And don't leave holes while you're out here. You know, you dig a hole for a piece of trash and you're upset because it was trash. You dug down a foot for it. And a lot of people walk away and leave those holes. Why? I mean, it wasn't there when you got there. And the BLM and other entities don't like seeing that. They don't like seeing those holes left out here. And so I don't. I fill all my holes. And it sounds a little tedious to sit there and dig a lot of trash, but when you find, you know, a handful of nuggets or a couple nuggets in a day, and you got to pay with some trash. Even the coin relic people with their discrimination, and I hunt coins and relics. I use discrimination on coins and relics. Relic hunting, not so much, because you want to dig everything. Okay. Some people will turn on discrimination to dig only non-ferrous targets and whatnot. That's all well and good, but it doesn't work nugget hunting. Now the Gold Monster 1000 is a VLF machine, which is much different. This is pulse induction. And pulse induction and VLFs work quite differently. And I'm not going to go into all that. I may in a different video. But they work quite differently. And the Gold Monster does have what's called a shallow setting on it, which is basically a ferrous metal discrimination circuit. So when you turn it on, it'll ignore a lot of ferrous metals and just tell you when you're over something non-ferrous. Is it accurate? Yeah, probably 80% of the time, but that other 20% could be gold. And I've had that machine tell me it's iron before, and dug it and it was gold. And I've had it say it was gold and it was iron. And it's just depending on what is in the ground where you have that target, the machine's going to react differently every time. So it's always best just to dig everything. And you're always going to have guys that say, well, you know, you could just do this and that. And I go out there and I use discrimination and I don't dig all that trash. Well, you're leaving nuggets for me, so I'm all for it. Go for it. Sounds kind of rude, but hey, it is what it is, right? So if you want to get into this, you got to understand that you're going to work really hard. You're going to walk a lot, and you're going to dig a lot of holes for stuff that's not gold. And once you do find gold, nice thing is it's in patches a lot of times. You'll find one nugget and there's going to be several more in the area. And out here at San Domingo, this is a very, very, very old placer. Precambrian and postcambrian, and then there's some secondary enrichment along the way from some volcanic activity, red Picacho and stuff like that that's not quite as old. But a lot of this stuff's been in the ground for millions and millions of years, hundreds of millions of years. And it's moved around. It's been concentrated by washes and stuff like that. And that's what the old timers went for. But in a place like this, you can find gold anywhere on these hillsides, top of the hills, in flats. And when you walk around out here, you'll find places that they actually dry wash the whole hillside and the wash around it. And that's because they found gold in the wash, went up the banks, and they kept finding more gold, so they just kept working right up the hillsides. And they got a lot of gold out of here in the old days. And they left a lot of gold for guys like me. And I got a truck pulled up right over there. Somebody's going to hunt, getting out and getting their gear on about a quarter mile from me over there. But if you want to do this, you're going to have to educate yourself and get access to places to go. Learning what claim boundaries are, if you're on a claim or off a claim, is really important, man, because somebody catches you on their claim, I'm guessing it's not a really good thing. I haven't had that problem because I pay pretty good attention to where I am. And I don't know, man, it seems to me that if you're on somebody else's claim and you know they're on their claim, it's the same as going in their house and stealing their wallet off the dresser. Yeah, right? I mean, they pay the fees, they own the claim. It's what it is. It's theirs. You don't get to own the land, but you own the mineral rights. So that's important to know too. How to file a claim and all that, that's something you learn later on down the road. There's always people out there selling claims. There's always the flim-flam guys that sell you bad claims. That's been going on since gold was first found, I'm pretty sure. That's one of the biggest rip-offs in the world is people selling mines that are worthless and placer ground that's worthless. Oh yeah, you can go out there and find lots of gold. Oh yeah, okay. You buy the claim, get out there and find out, well, you didn't do any research to start with and you got a bad claim. You find claims for sale, it's always best to go out and check it yourself without the owner. It happens a lot where the guy selling the claim will just buy some placer gold somewhere and go out and throw a little in the washers and say, okay, dig right there, that's a good spot. And you find a bunch of color in the pan and whoo-hoo, I'm buying this claim. Beware. I mean, claims for $1,000, $3,000, $4,000 when gold's almost $2,000 an ounce right now. There can't be a whole lot of gold on that claim, like they're trying to tell you if they're selling that claim that cheap. Simple as that. Just absolutely simple as that. So metal detecting is probably the hardest part of gold prospecting, in my opinion. Just simply because we're out there just walking around looking for a signal. We have to do the same research the guys that dig do. At least the guys that dig go home with some color every time almost. There's a lot of fine gold out here too. And you can run a dry washer and do pretty good out here. Sometimes get a gram a day. You know, at today's prices, that's not bad wages if you're not putting a lot of money out to do it. And I have a dry washer and I do that stuff, but this is my preferred method. And just for the peace and quiet and to get out here and away from people and find that beautiful gold. And I've kind of been rambling around on this video here, but I do that sometimes. And what I want is a lot of you people that just have some questions, email me. Okay? My email address is in the description. And if you have an idea of a video you'd like to see or something you think that would help you personally and some other people find gold better, ask me. And I'll take care of it for you. Or do the best I can. I mean, I don't know everything, but I've been doing this for 30 plus years, so I got a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. And I'm going to get out today and hopefully get a piece. Just have to see how it goes. This area here, I found gold before. And I can always go back to areas with a new machine that comes out and pluck a few nuggets I missed with the older technologies. And that's what new technology is all about. And these days, these detectors are getting really good, man. Like I said, this one amazes me. All the years I've been detecting, I've never seen anything like it. This is a GPX 6000, like I said. It's a wonderful machine. Just a beast. And anyway, I'm going to get at it. I just wanted to have a little chat this morning, and there's a lot more to this, and I'm probably going to put together a little series of videos where I actually start at a point where you would start, new to this, and then work my way through how I learned and how I started finding gold on a regular basis. And I've done a lot of that in previous videos, but those are years old, and people got to go way back to look for them. And like I said, I've been getting requests to do this video and some others. But the main point of this video is, if you're going to start metal detecting for gold, buy a gold nugget detector. Don't go out there with a multi-purpose one. Now, there's some good ones out there. The MindLab Manticore, the Equinox. There's some Garrett machines and XP Daves that'll find gold nuggets. But they still struggle out here in this ground a little bit. And they're getting better and better, the VLFs, at being able to discriminate out here in the gold fields and stuff. But I still wouldn't use discrimination, my friends. I dig everything. And besides, some of the stuff we dig out here is considered junk's pretty cool relics. So, but anyway, you're better off, if you're going to be mainly hunting gold, to buy a gold machine. And later on, you want to start hunting relics and coins, buy a coin relic machine. Then you got a machine to do each. And if you buy a coin relic machine that is multi-purpose, then you got one a buddy can use sometimes. It may not be as good a quality for hunting gold as a gold machine, but it's still suitable. And I'm going to try the MindLab Manticore a little more out here. And I found the Equinox to be pretty good at finding gold, even really tiny stuff. But it struggles a little bit on some of the materials out here in the ground, and that's to be expected. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now and go out and find a little bit of gold if I can. And it's starting to get hot. And it's fall now, so we're only getting up in the 90s by the end of the day, which is way better than 115 or 17. So, my friends, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and send me an email or something if you want to see me put something else up, something you haven't seen or something you missed, or an idea you have of what you'd like me to explain, and I'll do my best to get it done for you. For now, Nugget Shooter out.